Greetings, Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux fans. It is Napalm Dawn coming at you on Thanksgiving here in the United States. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We are set to do Thursday night fights yet again. I think we're up to episode 61 now, maybe? So last week I said that I was going to do one more team up with Luke Cage, and I was going to lean into his pain debuff. A lot of people mentioned down in the comments, my guess is you're going to use Gambit. That was a lot of the guesses. To be honest, at the time, I totally forgot Gambit could do pain. That is not who I intended to pair up with Luke Cage this week. I intended to go with Archangel. That is right. If you encounter the Angel season, I won't spoil it if you're not there, but when you get up to the Angel PvP season, if something seems weird to you, it actually is not weird. It is very much intended to be that way. However, there is something I should point out, though, about Angel and his season, is that when you get the quest to do the Shepherd Staff, the PvP season in which you can collect the parts, you're going to need to loss farm. What that means is you win 5 to get your daily spinner, but then you deliberately lose 5 so that you never actually complete the season. You can keep the season going for eternity to get all of the components on the spinner that you need to get the Shepherd Staff. Now, for me, I did not know about that tactic at the time. I was really good with the gold nuggets, but I didn't get anything on the spinner. And I beat the season where this was all dropping, and I was like, oh shit. Because it says that it's in the store, but it isn't. People, you should know that the Shepherd Staff, at least right now, is not working super great. So you're not missing out on anything if you don't have it. And obviously, if you don't complete the task, it's not like it's going to go away. So if a patch comes out or the next beta comes out, there is no ETA. Don't ask about that. There also is no mobile version ever planned for this game. That's been coming up a lot lately. You're not missing out on a super much when you don't have the Shepherd Staff. But if you want a loss farm, you can certainly do that. Nobody cares other than your own pride. And are you truly getting a not perfect season when you were deliberately losing? By the way, just leaving the battle is considered a loss. You don't have to put crap characters in there like a bunch of level 1s. Just actually hit the exit button. Something else that has come up recently I should warn you guys about, because a couple of people this has happened, including one recently. If you sell or do something to a piece of gear that is irreplaceable, in other words, something you cannot buy from the store, something that is research from a spec ops or a covert task or anything like that, if you sell it or in some way, shape, or form throw it into a different dimension of the multiverse, you cannot get that back as of yet. It has happened a few times where people have done things to the Mockingbird kit, like the staff and the goggles and everything. No, you can't get that back. So I will say again, back up your save regularly. I like to back it up one directory up from where the saves are, usually a few times per week, and then once or twice a month I take the save and I copy it to one of my external drives, or like the cloud, something like that, because my D drive, which is where most of my games are, did actually die around this time last year, and that could have been catastrophic to the save at the time had I not been saving it elsewhere. As a matter of fact, my 5.9 save actually went back about 2 months of progress, even though I was in beta 6 at that time. But yeah, back up your saves regularly for that kind of an issue. We also have had people saying their existing profile doesn't work. When they're at the launcher, they click on the save or the agent that they've been using, and it simply doesn't go anywhere. But if they make a new save, it works. We don't know what that is currently. 4 people, I think, have reported it. If that happens, you need to come to Discord and go to the tech support channel. Upload your save. We do, right now, unfortunately, several of the coders who can look into that kind of thing are beset with real-life issues and stuff like that. And, of course, the holidays always brings upon us trials and tribulations, but I don't know what the cause of that is right now, and I don't know what the fix is. It doesn't seem to be related to cheating or anything, so again, back up your saves regularly for the things that may happen accidentally and for the things that you do, unfortunately. So, let us jump into today's 5 battles, which is going to feature Angel, Luke Cage, the Agent 19 uniform, the Neurotrope, to potentially add extra level 1 attacks, the Netheranium Trident from the Daemon Spec Ops, the Sorcerous Scepter, which is in the store currently. People have asked, when does this show up in the store? To me, it shows up right around the Daemon Spec Ops. It came from the gadgets area is where it was located. It is not showing in my store right now because I happen to have it equipped. But once you get around Spec Ops 9 or 10, it does show up in the store. And then the Coulson's Revenge. So the Neurotrope and the Coulson's Revenge are there to add some extra level 1 attacks. First up is Angel. Now, in the Archangel uniform, without his AISOs, he does not have an AoE, so to speak. When you get his AISO, Pestilence becomes an AoE, and is a 100% chance to give out nanoplague. But we are working with Pain. The enemy agent is a infiltrator, which is good for Luke and Archangel. Nice miss. Good job there, buddy. We got it on that one. So there's Pain. That is not a counter-strike. That is an actual attack. So now all 3 are scrappers. Let's bodyguard with Luke Cage because quick actions won't become quick actions later in the battle. So we may as well do it now. He has 1 Pain. So now let's do Pain Train, which we should get exposed. And then I think we'll get wide open. Nope. Valkyrie's like, yeah, you need to stop that because my buddy, the agent, is low. However, we do have Pain Train on her now. She took a scrapper benefit, Luke Cage, to the face by protecting the agent. Let's go ahead and do a Neurotrope. And then, for the first time ever in Thursday night fights, and probably in any of my videos at any point in time, we're going to use the Sorcerous Scepter, which will put a stack of pain on everybody. And hey, look at this remove buff. If that was actually working, that would work out really well with the nanoplague, which says debuffs can't get removed. Looked a tiny bit laggy there, but it's not creating hyper combat, so it can't be bugged too bad. Okay. Pain Train combo setup. Pain times 3. Stacks up to 5 times. Let's try to do the Brutal Strike. I think Brutal Strike is not working, but we're going to pretend it is, because honestly, this is in the perfect realm to use a Brutal Strike. Valkyrie said, nope. You can have all of that, Agent Goofy. We don't give a crap about that. We know that she has combo set up and at least some pain on her, thanks to the 2 attacks from Luke Cage, so this should be a huge hit. Yeah, 12k. And a follow-up from the 8. Oh my god. Valkyrie got punished to dare interfere with our plans. Not a bad hit from the Trident. 1 stack of pain is there. Pain times 2, actually. Combo setup, exposed, pain. Let's just go with the Coulsons because of the high damage. Storm laughed at that. She laughed knowing that I whiffed on a major attack. However that happened. So far so good. The blizzard hurt as it continued to tick down a little bit, but not too bad. I'm going to do my spinner before we go a little bit further. That 50 CP would be nice. And yay, the Scourging Gaze. Awesome. Been waiting to get that on the spinner. The Agent tanks on this one. But I would love to get a piece of Phoenix over there, considering she's an infiltrator. And Neurotrope. Speaking of Phoenix, over in Marvel Rivals, I have mastered or taken Cloak and Dagger and Rocket Raccoon all the way to their maximum amount of experience. I've also done it with Squirrel Girl as my mastered DPS. I'm now working on Jeff, and I'm working on Phoenix as my DPS. Jeff, boy, I gotta tell you, playing Jeff in Marvel Rivals is a pain in the ass, because for some particular reason, more than any other hero that I've played in Rivals, especially for the healers, aka the strategists, people love chasing Jeff down until he is uber dead. I don't know what the deal is, but people will chase Jeff as if killing him contains the cure for cancer. It is insane the amount of dive that I witness when I am playing on Jeff. It is it's crazy. Alright, I'm going to hit with Pestilence, which should then follow up with the level 1, which will create pain. Perfect. Oh my god. Big hit for Angel. That is an impressive level 1 out of Angel over there. That's almost on par with Luke Cage's damage. She doesn't have anything special going on. 1 pain. So let's give her some more. Pain Train has kicked in, but Exposed did not, oddly enough. But yeah, for some reason... Oh, yeah. Rescue gets this bug sometimes where additional debuffs just don't land on her. Coulson's Revenge did hit that time. Pretty big white hit. That was revenge for it missing on Storm over there. So far, I honestly believe these guys are working well. The synergy is super, super tight. This is not a very broad synergy between Angel and Luke, and in all honesty, perhaps I should be running Angel as his blaster in the Archangel so I don't overload the scrappers, basically. I've been a little bit stupid in using the Sorcerous Scepter when it's the Agent and 2 flyers, because it's only going to hit 1, the Agent, so just use the Trident. Let's be smarter about this. Reasonable hit. Follow-up brawl taken by the Agent because he's protecting, and the Sorcerous Scepter gives a counter that still misses almost everybody other than the stop it. He's already dead. Let's get this stacked on Patriot. Wow. I'm sorry, Luke. We're trying to set you up over here, but they're just dying. Yep, flyby attack. Unsurprising on that one. This may be where we're going to have some issues getting some debuffs on rescue. Let's see if we get a... Yes, we did get a 3rd stack of pain. Oh! Wow! we're just getting large hits. Probably the buffs and the Neurotrope. But this is still really, really strong. Everybody, the power is just slathered among the whole team over here. And that was actually a mistake to go bodyguard with Wonder Man over there. I'm going to be inviting some heavy hitting bruiser heat over here. That was actually a mistake. I think if I go for the agent, Wonder Man's gonna jump in or not. Sometimes his tanking. Oh Christ, it's this guy. I should have known. Now we could be in a little bit of trouble. This is where the Sorcerous Scepter would be really handy if remove buffs was working, and the nanoplague. Oh dear. Yeah, there he goes. However, he still doesn't have his turn yet. Uh-oh. That's bad. We are jacking Wonder Man up over here. Now he definitely has a guaranteed strengthened. We're going to lose Luke Cage. We are definitely going to lose Luke Cage. So, I think we should do the Sorcerous Scepter because it's going to go 2 for 3. And if there's any extra attacks out there from their Neurotrope, bringing it to my agent who is healthier than Luke would be good. Hopefully he doesn't get smashed, so let's see what happens. Ooh, it missed Wonder Man. Oh, stupid Luke Cage. Protected. Bye, Luke. Oh, no. Magneto shield. This is such an absolute douche combo, this team, because of the Magneto shield being buggy, and then these guys being a rising up team, and them using the Neurotrope. At least it is now 2-2. Oh boy. Oh. Right back at you. Oh. Uh-oh. I don't think it's going to kill him. And he does have combat awareness. Well. Oh, it's super close, though. Ooh, mama. Oh, boy. That is not good. I would rather go one-on-one with Omega Sentinel than Wonder Man, to be honest. I'm going to recharge, because the next hit is going to make my stamina super low. I think I can beat her. I do have higher hit points, and holy shit. The most dramatic fight of the series saved for last. Except, people did say Gambit, so let us go ahead and throw one Gambit fight in there for all the people who guessed Gambit. Let me take a look at Gambit's ISOs, because, yeah, they're trash. Okay. Let's go ahead and ISO Gambit. I have that page up right here, so we can jump to it quickly. Ooh, why are you resetting? Okay. Phoenix. Gambit. Alright, so what are we going to do for Gambit? 4 steadies, 2 skillfuls, 2 proficient. Alright, so that's probably what I have there. Boop, boop, boop. 4 steadies, which is, if I remember correctly, that is not hit points and attack, which is powerful. This is HP, attack, and accuracy, so that makes sense. And I know the others were proficient, which is going to give us... That's where the defensive comes in, which is going to be evasion. Hit points look good. And 2 skillfuls to round them out. Let's see if PKB hit his own marks on this one. Accuracy is a little low. Alright, we'll go with it. we should be okay. So, of course, we'll get Ace of Spades, which does it. However, that consumes my charge, so it's not as easy to get out there. It doesn't work as well with the Coulsons and the Neurotrope, but you guys guessed it, so you're entitled to one of those. 2 flyers again, which sucks. And the Protector is a scrapper. Damn. Maybe I could... Yep, that is a shame. That does not work in our favor on this one. However, a lot of kinetic charges. Am I going to turn into an infiltrator? Not great. Neurotrope. Again, Sorcerous Scepter is going to be trash because we have 2 flyers. And so I guess we will Trident, and we'll have to go for the agent because he is a protector. Don't like doing it as an infiltrator, but, you know, oop. And there's the Sinister Scepter, and now he's intangible. Oh, boy. That's fun. Well, he can't protect. So in that case, let's get some pain going on Phoenix, who's now at the exposed level. Mind link. She mind linked herself. Uh-oh. Semi-painful on Luke, but otherwise not too bad. We are working on Phoenix, so let's do that. Good. With the extra turn. Oh, this is weird. This is weird. Everything's gone a bit weird. What? What? Okay, this is weird. They got a whole bunch of extra turns, which resulted in a stun on Luke, and she did Death and Rebirth even though nobody died, and my agent popped a heal. But okay, there's my infiltrator bonus now, finally, for Gambit. Let's stack pain on rescue. That status reset would have been annoying had it actually worked. Only 1 pain there. Is her passive of removing 1 debuff? Oh god, he's gonna spam this again. I wonder if we're ever gonna be able to hit this guy. Oh, what? Oh, he's actually tangible. Yeah, Gambit said fuck off with that. And the card did it. Okay, so that was a weird match. Things got a little bit buggy there, but I think we are good to go at this point. So yeah, there was my pain team up that I thought of last week. Sorry to all the people who picked Gambit. I was going with Angel. Once again, if you have any ideas for me with Season 1 heroes, uniforms, and gear, put it down in the comments below. If it is a workable team, I will go ahead and use it. Tomorrow's stream should go off without a hitch as I'm not working. It is the post-Thanksgiving coma holiday, and I should be starting at about 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And next week, I will tell the story about a guy who was pitching teams to myself and Kingfisher back in the day when the game was live. I often tell this one on stream. I think I'll probably tell it again tomorrow. But yeah, next Thursday Night Fights video, I'll have to tell you the story about this douche from way back when the game was live that was haunting my videos and Kingfisher's and just kind of being like a pushy, arrogant ass. Anyway, there is my pain team, Archangel, Luke Cage, and there is 1 Gambit, since people picked them. Netheranium Trident, the Sorcerous Scepter, which seemed to not be very good this week because of all the flyers, but there was a good counter in there that would have been decent if it wasn't for the flyers, and everybody did a pretty good job, even if pain was not as big of a factor as I hoped it would be. Thanks, everybody. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. See you tomorrow for the stream.